Let me ask you a question. Are you truly living your life, or are you just going along for the ride? There's a big difference between following the crowd and leading yourself. The crowd, well, they're content to follow the path that everyone else is walking. They're happy with mediocrity. They're okay with the way things are. But you've got something inside you that wants more. You see, the true secret to living a meaningful, successful life isn't about fitting in. It's about standing out. It's about carving your own path, even if it means walking alone. You see, leading yourself is the first step toward greatness. So ask yourself, are you leading your life, or are you just following someone else's dream? If you want something more, if you want a life of purpose and achievement, it's time to stop following the crowd and start leading yourself. Because true success isn't about fitting in. It's about standing out and walking your own path. Most people spend their lives looking outward, seeking approval, chasing someone else's dream. They see someone ahead of them and think, I want that. I want what they have. But here's a little truth for you. Success is not found in imitating someone else. Success is found in leading yourself. You see, the crowd has its way of doing things. The crowd looks at the world and follows the trends, follows the rules, follows the safest route. But that's not where greatness lies. It's not in blending in. Greatness is found in stepping away from the herd, in making the hard decision to take a different path. Now, I'm not saying that the path you take will be easy, no. But I am saying it will be yours. It will be uniquely yours. And that's the only way to truly lead yourself. Think about this: success is predictable. It's not magic. It's not luck. It's a result of decisions, hard work, and discipline. Most people don't realize that success isn't some random event. It's not something that happens to a few lucky individuals. It's a result of leading yourself, of making consistent, disciplined decisions that align with the life you want to create. You must first look inside, ask yourself, what do I really want from life? Not what the crowd wants, not what the neighbors want, but what do you want? You see, true leadership begins with clarity. It begins with understanding what you stand for, what your goals are, and how to get there, regardless of the distractions around you. But here's the catch. Leading yourself means you can't wait for someone else to tell you what to do. You can't rely on others to map out your future. You have to own it. You have to take responsibility for where you are right now and for where you're going. No one else can do that for you. Now, this is the hard part. When you begin to lead yourself, it requires discipline. Discipline to do what needs to be done, even when it's uncomfortable. It requires you to say no to the things that might derail you, to say no to the distractions, to the temptations, to the easy way out, and instead say yes to the hard work, the delayed gratification, and the consistency that will ultimately lead you to success. Remember, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It's the key that will unlock the door to the future you desire. But discipline requires leadership, and leadership begins with you. So ask yourself, are you ready to stop following and start leading? Are you ready to take control of your life, to make your own decisions, and to do what's necessary to turn your dreams into reality? Because that's the power of self-leadership. That's where it all begins. Let's face it, following the crowd is easy. It's comfortable. It's safe. It's what most people do without ever thinking twice about it. After all, if everyone's going in the same direction, it must be the right one, right? But here's the problem. The crowd is often wrong. Most people follow the crowd because they don't want to stand out. They don't want to be different. They don't want to face the discomfort of walking a path that others may not understand. But let me tell you something. If you're following the crowd, you're probably going the wrong way. Think about it. The crowd is satisfied with mediocrity. The crowd isn't striving for greatness. The crowd is okay with just getting by, with doing just enough to get through the day. But success isn't about just enough. Success is about pushing yourself further than you ever thought possible, about reaching for more than what's in front of you. Success is about leading yourself to places where the crowd isn't going. I've said this many times before. Success is not for the timid. It's for the bold. And when you follow the crowd, you're being timid. You're playing it safe. You're not taking risks. You're not challenging yourself. And here's the danger: when you play it safe, you guarantee that you'll end up with the same results as everyone else, no more, no less. When you look at the crowd, you see conformity. You see people following trends, doing things because they're told it's the right way to live. But do you know what conformity creates? A life of unfulfilled potential. A life where dreams remain dreams and never turn into reality. Conformity doesn't make you successful. It makes you average. I want you to think about this for a moment. What's the cost of following the crowd? It's the cost of your uniqueness. It's the cost of your potential. It's the cost of your dreams. When you follow the crowd, you sacrifice the one thing that makes you different. The one thing that could take you farther than anyone else: your own vision. The crowd's journey might seem easy. It might seem comfortable. But here's the truth: easy doesn't build character. Easy doesn't lead to greatness. It's the challenges, the struggles, and the discomfort of standing apart that shape you into the person you're meant to become. Let me remind you of something. If you want what everyone else has, then do what everyone else does. But if you want something more, if you want a life that truly matters, then you must be willing to take the road less traveled. You must be willing to stand alone at times, to make decisions that others won't understand, and to embrace the uncertainty of following your own path. You don't need the crowd to validate your journey. You don't need their approval to live a life of purpose. What you need is courage. Courage to say no to the crowd, no to mediocrity, and yes to the life you know you're capable of living. Here's a question for you. Are you willing to stop following the crowd? Are you ready to take control of your own destiny? Are you prepared to make the difficult choices, the unpopular decisions that will lead you to the life you truly desire? If so, then you're ready to lead yourself. Finding your own path is not as simple as following someone else's footsteps. It's not as easy as taking a road that's already been paved. If you want to lead yourself to greatness, you need to stop asking, what path should I take? And start asking, who do I want to become? The answer to that question is the key to finding your own path. You see, most people spend their lives asking the wrong questions. They look outside themselves for direction, seeking the advice of others, hoping that someone else's blueprint for success will work for them. But here's the thing: there is no one-size-fits-all path to success. I want you to think about this for a moment. What makes you different from everyone else? It's your unique set of experiences, your values, your vision, and your drive. Your path isn't going to look like anyone else's, and that's a good thing. It's what makes your journey truly yours. To find your own path, you must first gain clarity. Clarity is power. You have to understand who you are, what you want, and where you want to go. Most people never achieve this because they're too busy reacting to life instead of taking the time to reflect. They allow life to happen to them instead of designing the life they want to live. But true leaders, those who are able to carve their own path, take the time to think, to reflect, and to gain that clarity. Ask yourself, what do I want my life to look like? Not what your parents want, not what society wants, but what do you want? Your path will be shaped by your answer. And the moment you decide to take control of your life and lead yourself toward your own vision, something incredible happens. You begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You begin to recognize the signs along the way that tell you you're on the right path. And most importantly, you'll begin to trust yourself in a way that you never have before. Here's the reality: your path won't always be clear. It won't always be straight. You will face obstacles. You will face setbacks. But you must keep moving forward step by step, even when it feels uncertain. Why? Because the path to success is built by the steps you take today. The key is to stop waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect time to start. It doesn't exist. The right time to begin your journey is always now. As I've said before, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Small, consistent steps toward your vision will get you farther than you ever imagined. Let me tell you something. The path will be yours, but only if you're willing to take the first step. And once you do, once you stop following the crowd and begin carving your own path, you will discover a sense of purpose, a sense of direction that will give you the strength to overcome anything that comes your way. But remember, finding your own path isn't about instant gratification. It's about long-term growth. It's about developing the strength of character, the resolve, and the persistence to stay the course, no matter what. It's about understanding that the journey itself is just as important as the destination. So, I ask you today, what will your path look like? It's time to stop asking for permission and start leading yourself toward the life you've always dreamed of. Because once you start walking your own path, you will see that the world opens up in ways you never expected. Now, let's talk about something very important, the discipline of self-leadership. You see, it's one thing to say you want to lead yourself. It's another thing entirely to actually do it. The difference is discipline. Without discipline, leadership becomes nothing more than a wish, a fleeting thought that fades when challenges arise. Discipline is the foundation that turns your dreams into reality. Let me remind you of something I've said many times before. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. You can have all the goals you want, but without discipline, they remain just dreams. Discipline is what closes the gap between where you are and where you want to be. The thing about discipline is that it's not always glamorous. It's not always fun. It's the small, seemingly insignificant decisions you make every single day. It's the habit of doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. It's about choosing the hard right over the easy wrong. You see, the crowd is filled with people who want quick fixes, instant results. They want success without the effort. But let me tell you something. There's no shortcut to greatness. There's no substitute for hard work and the consistent discipline that it takes to stay on the path of self-leadership. Now, let me ask you, what would your life look like if you disciplined yourself to show up every day? If you disciplined yourself to make the right choices, even when no one was watching. If you disciplined yourself to be consistent, even when the road got tough. Success doesn't happen by accident. It happens through a series of disciplined actions, day in and day out. And it's the discipline to stay committed to your path, even when the distractions of life try to pull you off course. When you have the discipline to keep going, no matter how hard it gets, that's when you truly begin to lead yourself. But here's the thing, discipline is not something that just happens overnight. It's a skill. And like any skill, it must be developed. You don't wake up one day and suddenly become disciplined. You must build it step by step by making small choices every day to take control of your actions and your future. And the best part, discipline gets easier the more you practice it. When you start to see the results of your disciplined actions, when you begin to see the changes in your life, you will find the motivation to keep going. The results become the reward, and the process becomes a part of who you are. You no longer have to be disciplined. You want to be disciplined. But remember, this discipline is not a one-time event. It's a daily commitment. It's saying no to the things that don't align with your vision, and yes to the things that move you closer to your goals. It's about managing your time, your energy, and your focus with purpose. The disciplined person doesn't wait for the perfect moment. They create the perfect moment through their actions. Let me give you a little secret. Discipline doesn't just improve your results. It improves you as a person. It builds your character. It builds your resilience. It strengthens your ability to stay the course when everyone else is distracted, when everyone else is giving up. So, let's be clear about something. Leadership without discipline is like a car without fuel. It might look nice, but it's not going anywhere. If you want to lead yourself to success, you must develop the discipline to keep moving forward, no matter how hard it gets. You must develop the discipline to stay true to your goals, to your vision, and to the life you know you're capable of living. And when you do, you'll find that success isn't just something you dream about. It's something you live. Now, we've come to the most important part of all, embracing the journey of self-leadership. You see, leadership isn't a destination. It's not a final stop. It's not a place you arrive at and then stop growing. Leadership is a journey, a continuous, evolving path of growth, learning, overcoming challenges, and becoming the person you were meant to be. The moment you step onto this path, you are choosing a life that is constantly evolving, constantly improving. And the most important thing you can do on this journey is embrace it. Embrace every moment of it. What does that mean? It means accepting the fact that this journey is going to require patience, perseverance, and a certain willingness to face discomfort. The moment you decide to lead yourself, you are no longer walking down the familiar, crowded roads that everyone else is taking. You are setting your own course. You're creating your own path, and that's not always going to be smooth. It's not always going to be easy, but that's what makes it worthwhile. Let me tell you something that I've learned over the years. Success is never a straight line. Life is full of twists and turns. Sometimes you'll feel like you're making great progress, and other times, it will seem like you're taking one step forward and two steps back. And that's okay. It's all a part of the process. Because what you're building isn't just a successful life. It's a resilient life. And resilience is something that grows through the journey, through the ups and downs, the setbacks and the comebacks. Think about it. When you look at the great leaders of the world, do you think they got to where they are because they followed a perfect, smooth path? Absolutely not. Every great leader faced struggles. Every great leader encountered obstacles. But they didn't let those obstacles define them. They embraced them. They learned from them. They grew stronger because of them. That's the beauty of self-leadership. It's not just about reaching the top, it's about the person you become along the way. Embracing the journey means learning to embrace the discomfort, the failures, the challenges. Because here's what I've discovered: you cannot skip the hard parts. You cannot skip the obstacles. If you want to lead yourself to something extraordinary, you must be willing to face the challenges that come your way. You must be willing to sit with the discomfort of uncertainty, to work through the struggles, to keep moving forward even when it seems impossible. You see, the crowd is filled with people who look for shortcuts, who want to bypass the struggle. They want the easy way, the path with no bumps. But let me tell you this, there is no easy path to greatness. And if you think there is, you're only fooling yourself. The path to real success, the kind that truly satisfies, is built on hard work, sacrifice, and yes, even failure. But here's the good news: failure is not the end of the road. It's just a part of the journey. The most successful people in the world have failed many times. But failure didn't define them. What defined them was their ability to get back up, dust themselves off, and keep moving forward. And when they did, they discovered something remarkable. Success isn't just about the end result. It's about how you respond to the challenges along the way. When you embrace the journey of self-leadership, you begin to see the obstacles differently. They're no longer roadblocks. They're stepping stones. Each challenge you face is an opportunity for growth. Each difficulty is a chance to develop your character, your perseverance, and your resolve. And in the midst of it all, you'll learn one of the greatest lessons of all: true leadership comes from within. It's not about following the crowd or waiting for someone else to tell you what to do. It's about listening to your own inner voice, trusting your instincts, and making decisions based on your vision for the future, not someone else's. I want you to think about that for a moment. Leadership is about becoming the best version of yourself. And that's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey that requires constant reflection, constant adaptation, and constant action. But the good news is, as you continue down this path, you'll discover something extraordinary. The person you're becoming is far greater than the person you were before. You'll also learn that this journey isn't just about achieving goals. It's about becoming someone who is capable of achieving those goals. It's about developing the mindset, the habits, and the disciplines that will carry you to success. The journey of self-leadership is not just about what you do, but who you become along the way. And as you continue to grow and evolve, you'll find that the obstacles become easier to navigate, the challenges become easier to face, and the journey becomes a bit more enjoyable. And here's the thing, there's no final destination on this path. You will reach milestones. You will achieve success. But then you'll set new goals, new standards, and new challenges. And that's the beauty of the journey. It never ends. There's always more to learn. There's always more to do. There's always another level to reach. So, don't wait for the perfect moment to begin. Don't wait for the ideal conditions. The journey of self-leadership begins today with the decisions you make in this very moment. You don't have to have everything figured out right now. You just have to take that first step, no matter how small. And once you begin, keep going, keep growing, keep embracing the journey. Remember this, the journey of self-leadership is not a race. It's not about how quickly you get there. It's about staying committed to the process. And over time, you'll look back and see just how far you've come. You'll look at the person you've become, and you'll be proud of the path you've taken, the challenges you've overcome, and the life you've built. So, as you move forward on this journey, I leave you with one final thought. Embrace the journey of self-leadership. Embrace every single moment, every challenge, every setback, and every triumph. Because in the end, this journey is not just about where you're going. It's about who you become on the way. And that, my friend, is a life that will never disappoint.